Venice thrusts a book into her mother's hands. "Look, Mum, it's got an elephant on the cover." "Gay Times with Ganesha," reads Jacinta, by Adash Z. Kar. Ha! You won't be able to do it. What? Judge the competition. Conflict of interest. You'll have to pull out. He was one of your students. Merles. You mentored him. She examined him. But he was on the course. Jacinta is delighted. A happy, malicious grin spreading from newly exposed ear to newly exposed ear. Her hair is shorter, blonder, a new cut. She gives the book back to Venice and walks past him into the bedroom, or what was their bedroom when they were together. Gareth remains marooned, a phrase lifting in his mind, a phrase he's read 1,000 times. He was rocked by the news. He was. He is. He'll look a complete idiot. He'll have to email the Opus people and explain that not only does he know Adash, but he could also be seen to be responsible in some way for the young man's success. Or not. Do they happen all the time, these vague alliances? They must do. And in the author note, it only says that Carr was born in Fiji and makes no mention of the country he grew up in further south. An easy mistake. Anyone could have made it. Look at Adash. He shows her the cover and Jacinta takes the book from him. Would you have recognised him? Oh, he looks exactly the same, except for his beard. I never liked him. So up himself. I can hardly remember him. He remembers him perfectly well. He'll ring Ray Mackay, ask for advice, since the Writers' Festival is hosting the awards night. Yes, she'd know, since she organised it all. Still time to bow out gracefully, to say he hadn't realised, even though he'd seen the list 12 times before the books were delivered. 21 names was quite a lot, wasn't it? Ask Ray's advice. Find the number.
That's for the promo, yeah? Ready?
I'm going to skirt around here if it's sorry.
No. I'm working with stuff out as well. Which one are you using? There. I think it's that one. Hang in the bum. Yeah. Oh, I think you might need that one as well. Just see how long you are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to give him that. And just unplugging your bro. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You happy? Sweet, I'll just move this. Are you happy?
Hello. Fancy seeing you up here. Today I am announcing that I will not be standing at the next election. I have had an incredible time in politics for the past 15 years, and now I am looking forward to my next career. In 2005, I entered politics on the National Party list. I was absolutely thrilled in 2008 when the people of the then seat of Waitakere chose me to be their electorate MP. I served them for 6 years until that seat no longer existed. I then went on to win the seat of Upper Harbour, where I have served for the past 6 years. Being an electorate MP and working on behalf of constituents has been a privilege and work that I have really enjoyed. I believe Jake Bezant, the current candidate for Upper Harbour, will do an outstanding job and wish him all the best in the upcoming election. After just 3 years as an MP, I became a Cabinet Minister in 2008. I have held 14 different portfolios, each bringing their own challenges and achievements. I have many people to thank, too many people to rattle off here, but I believe that much of my success has been due to the incredible people who I have worked with and for me. I am particularly proud of my work as Minister for Social Development and Child, Youth and Family for more than 6 years. I became the Minister as we were feeling the brunt of the global financial crisis. Vulnerable families and communities needed our immediate help, and I ensured they had it. But they also needed hope of a better future for them and their families. I set about reforming the welfare system with more emphasis on what people could do, increasing our expectation on people to get work ready and look for a job, and changing the system so that more help was available for them. The number of sole parents on benefit dropped by more than 30,000, and the number of teen parents effectively halved. This means tens of thousands of people no longer dependent on the state and living independent lives. Many think being a minister is a hands-off role. I loved being hands-on. I implemented those reforms, drove the change and the daily execution, and most importantly, saw people's lives and livelihoods improve. I then served as a senior minister from 2014 in the John Key and Bill English Kitchen Cabinet, and held portfolios ranging from state services, associate finance, climate change and police. And I was Deputy Prime Minister when John left and Bill took over. Since the last election until recently, I have been the Deputy Leader of the National Party and Campaign Chair. Interestingly, it has been in the last 2.5 years that I have probably learnt the most. The whole thing, though, has been a hell of a ride and I have loved it. But now is time for the next chapter. I am excited to take the skills I have out of Parliament and into the business world. I have always wanted another career after politics, and now is the right time for me to go and pursue that. Thank you. Not tough at all, to be honest. I've had such great jobs and I've had such great roles, and I've been so incredibly privileged. The 17-year-old solo mum who dropped out of school ended up being Deputy Prime Minister of this country, and when I looked at that and what I'd achieved, I knew that actually I could draw a line very comfortably and proudly under that and move on to my next challenge. Oh, not at all. I mean, it's pretty obvious that if and when National win at the next election, I wasn't going to be Deputy Prime Minister. And I've done that, and it's been a huge privilege. And so I think the new team are there. I think they've got a really good shot at it. And it's time for me now to put me first, and I think that means a new career. Oh, not at all. This is me probably being really selfish for the first time in 15 years and saying, what do I want out of life? And as I say, I really want another career, and I really want to go and do something out of politics. And now's a great time for me to pursue that. Yeah, I mean, obviously there's been some reflection for me over the last 3 or 4 weeks, and when I kind of sat there, I've always felt like I've been contributing to the country and to the National Party. But as I say, I think for the first time in a long time, I got to not think about a leader, not think about a political party, and instead think about what I wanted. And I'm probably the right age to be going out there and looking for the next career, and it's completely that's motivated me. What have you got in the pipeline? Yeah, look, I'm talking to a few people, but I am open to opportunities, as they say. So, I certainly haven't got something completely tied up. It's been a bit of a whirlwind month, but I'm pretty excited about what I think is out there and the skills I believe that I can take into that world. Oh, look, they have been really generous. They have certainly told me that there is a place for me, and that I am obviously welcome, and I intend to keep my membership alive. But I was very clear that this is my decision and my time.
What did Todd Miller say when you told him you wouldn't stand again?
Yeah, look, he certainly expressed his gratitude for what I have done for the party and for the caucus, particularly in more recent years, and said that I would be missed.
With a higher list ranking, would you have given more consideration to staying?
No, I'd got to a stage where it was all about me, and as I say, I'm pretty excited about what my next move might be and what happens out there in the real world.
You made a lot there about your time as Minister of Social Development, which some may think your time was a little controversial. Is there anything you regret from your time as Minister of Social Development?
I loved it, and I loved thinking about, what we could do to positively change people's lives. And, it's a bit like, I get that there's some people that won't agree with everything we did, but we were ambitious, and I believed in people and their abilities. And I do despair at the moment that I just think that there is an expectation that a lifetime on welfare can be, as an option for people, and it almost feels encouraged, when I think it should be a backstop that is there when you need it. But equally, we've got to be looking further ahead and believing in people more, that they have something to contribute and can live independent of the state.
No regrets though?
No, there's no point in having regrets. Life's too short for it. Look, you'll agree with things, you'll disagree. I wanted to stand for something. If you want to live a smooth life, don't go into politics. It is better to stand for something and some people not agree than to have achieved nothing and to have everyone say, well, she had a nice time and earned her wage,
With Anthony going as well, that's two very prominent British supporters going in successive days. Is the National Party cleaning house?
I'm a National Party supporter, yeah. So I support the leader. I supported Simon, who quite frankly is a great guy and someone I really admire. But I support the party first and foremost, and so I just don't characterise it like that. That's something for the leader to look at, and I will be stepping down immediately from my number 13 ranking and from my portfolios, and so in that context I suppose there's a gap.
What's your honest reaction to 31
Oh, look, I think it is a really hard job, and I think he's improving all the time. It's a lot of pressure. He's had a lot to do, and I just have got nothing but praise and just hope that and wish him the best, in all fairness. I'm not here to talk about others. I'm here to announce my retirement from politics today and to hopefully talk about what might be my future. Oh no, look, I think that, my goodness, this is the party that took, this teen mum and took me in and gave me every opportunity, and I grabbed them with both hands and have made the most of it. And I just think that that is something that's kind of extraordinary. I'm the first Māori woman Deputy Prime Minister in this country, and I became that under National. National never looked at what you can't do and has always looked, in my view, at what you can do. And for me, the opportunities have been huge, and I would say to any New Zealander out there that this is a party that believes in them and supports them, and it doesn't matter where you've come from, but it's damned exciting where you can go.
You mentioned the last 10 years being one of the worst the most. What are you looking forward to on the other side of this? Is there anything, say, in personal life, or just anything you're genuinely looking forward to doing?
Yeah, well, I'd like to stay married, so I'm not going to spend more time with my family. Lockdown was fantastic, If there's one thing that my husband knows, it's that I need to be busy and challenged, and I know that I'm really well and truly up for that. I'm looking forward to more fishing, I've got to say. That's definitely something that I would like to do more of and get in there. John Key keeps telling me that I've just got to get that golf swing sorted and get onto the golf course, and I enjoy that. And of course I love spending time with my children and grandchildren and things. But as I say, I think what I'm most excited about is the kind of business opportunities that might be out there, and that I'll now have an opportunity to sort of step into. No, I'm not planning a book at any time in the near future. Oh, I don't think they've put me in one box. I think the National Party has seen me for all that I am and all that I do, and I have had a hand in seeing some of the candidates that are coming through. I mean, Jake's here now, and they are pretty extraordinary and coming with a whole range of skills. You just sort of look at our caucus, and actually it is really quite diverse, and I suppose I was just sort of part of that diversity.
But what would you say to a single mum, 17, who might have been in the position you were once in, and they look at the National Party's lineup at the moment and see no one sort of reflected in that lineup who might be similar to their experiences? What in the National Party gives you hope that there would be something for them to look for?
I would say don't judge by the cover. That actually, if you dig a little bit deeper into that caucus, there is a whole lot of other experiences of our MPs and our candidates coming through, and that some of them have been sole parents, and some of them have been through some real tough times and heartaches, and in both working environments as well as personally, and that they understand the challenges that they have. But they also, what I think the difference is that we truly believe that people can be pretty extraordinary, and that this country offers them some pretty amazing opportunities. I was thinking that if you're a sole parent in this country and you're surviving on the benefit, CFO of Fonterra should be available to you because you're a bloody genius. Yeah, because it is tough. And I'm not sure that particularly for sole parents who are dear to my heart, that they always see the skills that they really do have and see how they can transfer. And I believe in that, and I know the National Party does as well.
It's looking like another potentially 2 years in this position. Is that a factor at all in the decision?
Oh, look, in February with me as the deputy leader and the campaign manager, we were at 44-45% in forming government, and we've got a few more months to go, and we've already seen a bit of a lift in Labour coming down. I'd tell you there's a few points in it. And I believe that with this team that we've got, that they can pull those few points back and talk about and actually prove that they can do the things that will matter most to New Zealanders. I haven't seen it recently, no. So you already put it out, has he? Look, if you can't laugh at yourself, I think we get to a point where people are taking themselves so damn seriously. And Tom is a very funny guy. I think actually a comic genius in this country, and he's managed to take the mickey out of me for years. But as I say to Tom, he's also actually almost opened me up to another generation where, young people will sidle up for a photo and I'll say, yeah, you're a Tom Sainsbury's fan, I think, not a Paula Bennett one. But it means I can then engage them in conversation, and so good on him. Hopefully he retires me. That would be quite nice, which is a weird statement to make, yeah? Will I be? Possibly. Why not?
For someone leaving the party, you seem to have quite a positive outlook on, the whole time with the national. A lot of people in that league politics that kind of burn their house down as they go, we're not doing this that much.
Oh, God, I feel so incredibly, I don't want to say lucky, because you make your own luck, but I do feel like I have been surrounded by some of the most talented people, and I really include people who've worked for me, I think that my success is due so much to those smart men and women who have got in there and given it everything they've got. And then, my caucus colleagues and the challenges. My goodness, I've had John Key as a mentor. I've had, Bill English, who backed me and believed in me, and Simon, who trusted me and gave me a massive job to do it and stood back. A party president who's been supportive. Some of my electorate team are here, they have done an outstanding job. I look at that, and how can I not be just filled with pride and also gratitude for, the people and the party that's given me all of that. Never. Absolutely never. Yeah, and can easily say that. I've probably had times when I could have put my hand up and stepped up and into it. Because sometimes, you can make a bigger difference to the role that is suited to your skills. And for me, that was in a deputy leader role. I love the organisation. I love the hands-on. I kind of like the detail behind it all. I am very much a people person and organiser and strategist that goes along with that. And I think that those skills were and are, were best suited to a deputy role. Always. No, look, it's not about just gender, it is about talent and merit. And I think that, of course, we'll have a female leader in the future, and so we should. But it'll be the right person at the right time, and that should be chosen on them being the best person for that role. Cool. Thank you very much.
I know we want to have a chat about this in a minute, but that makes a really big difference. If you look at the way the polls swung last week, if he could get up around that number, it does give National more hope of actually being able to cobble something together.
Depends where the vote comes from, of course, and I mean they have been getting pretty solid around 3.